The American Civil War. We're not talking about the Revolutionary War today, but the Civil War. It was a war fought in the U.S. Everybody knows the U.S. From 1861 to 1865, 4 years. And it is the most studied war in U.S. history. Still. And it was over the controversy over the enslavement of black people. And it started in April 1861 when the secessionist people attacked Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The secessionists, I can't say that word, were the people that wanted slaves. They were not the Union. So they attacked Fort Sumter, right after Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated as the president of the U.S. And then the loyal people to the U.S. Constitution in the North proclaimed themselves the Union, and they were supportive of the Constitution. And then the secessionists in the Confederate States, they later called themselves the Confederacy, they were like, yeah, no, slaves, states should have the right to keep slaves. So the 34 U.S. states, as you can see right here, 34 stars, because it was 34 states back then. So out of the 34 states, 7 of them were in the Confederacy. Later, 7 became 11 in the Confederacy. So, and then they were like, hey, let's get away from this country, let's make our own thing, okay? Let's get away from these gross Union people. That's what they did. And then, but they were never recognized as a real country by the Union or any other country, anybody at all. So the states that remained loyal were known as the Union, obviously. So the Union versus the Confederacy, they were like, hey, volunteer for the army. Come on, let's do it. And they raised men, and they fought. So the combat in battle killed 620,000 to 750,000. Nobody knows the exact number, but it was around that number. American people dead. That's more than any other U.S. military war ever, because it was basically the U.S. versus the U.S. So, yeah, it was a really bad war for the U.S., but it ended when Robert E. Lee, you probably heard of him, and Ulysses S. Grant, the big man on the $50 bill, later president of the U.S., Robert E. Lee surrendered to then General Ulysses S. Grant at the Battle of the Appomattox Courthouse. Then all the Confederate generals like, hey, if our fucking main man surrendered, then we're getting out of here. All right, hands up, we're done. Then the Confederacy collapsed. Slavery was thrown out by Abe Lincoln himself, and 4 million slaves were released. Big win. Epic. Be epic. The Reconstruction era was when the Confederate States had to rebuild their entire infrastructure because it was just fucking destroyed. Since the war just took place in all the southern states, their infrastructure was just butt-fucked, basically. So the Union and the Confederacy, or now they were all the Union, they were just like, okay, yeah, let's rebuild. Their transportation system was the worst. Just smashed to shit. Yeah. But then I think they added some amendments. Yeah, civil rights were guaranteed. Yeah, black slaves amendments, and they added amendments so no slaves could be taken anymore. Yep. Perfect. Wow, I can't talk today. Yeah, but that was the American Revolutionary War. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And make sure, oh sorry, I had a little burp there. And make sure to, I don't know, make sure to, if you ever create a new country, don't do slavery. Because this will happen, and yeah. Alright, so, bye-bye.